Hi guys. Oh, wait, let me adjust my PC. Hi guys, my name is Injin. If you don't already know me, I do edits, random edits. But now I guess I'm stuck here with y'all doing a reaction video to a few videos. So hopefully my editor is going not to forget to cut this part out. Okay. Oh yeah, and also see you at the other side. Sorry guys, I ended up at Zach D Films. Go subscribe to him. He does some random stuff. Some very particular stuff. Very particular. What the... Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Let's just go on in short and watch the first one. Oh, sorry. Wait. Hold on. My volume.
The Statue of Liberty. Could we give her real hair instead? Well, you would.
First off, which kind of question is this? Who would... Wait, did I listen?
Pulled the crown and metal hair off the Statue of Liberty. Could we give her real hair?
First off, which kind of question is this? Which sane person would ask himself, why shouldn't we do this? Bro, why? It's the same thing. Like I wake up and I give what could I give my dog? And I give my dog a pen and a piece of paper and tell him, could he write something down? Bro, it's completely impossible. Because this hair is going to fall off. And it's going to dry up.
Hair instead? Well, you would need to shave 3 people's heads just to make a regular-sized wig. But Lady Liberty's head has 400 times more surface area than a human's. To cover it, you would need 7,800 pounds of hair, which would weigh more than an elephant.
Yo.
And to collect it, you would need to shave the heads of over 35,000 donors just to fit on the statue. But if it ever blew off, it could crush a tourist boat.
Yeah, exactly. Could just flew off.
She squeezed the hand sanitizer, then lit it on fire.
Whoa, first off, for YouTube, for the people watching, don't do this. Don't do this. I don't want to end up with YouTube canceling my video. Oh, because a random guy just freaking blew up his house because of doing this. By the way, this is very flammable stuff. You could die or need to cut your hands off because of it. But let's get back to the shorts.
First, the flame was almost invisible, but the alcohol in the gel burned fast, and the vapor around it caught fire too, causing the flames to heat up the skin fast.
Bro, which kind of teacher, or I don't know, kindergarten, which kind of teacher does this?
Than the teacher expected.
Which kind of teacher does this? Bro, how did she get into a school?
She had done the same experiment with classes earlier that day, and the fire went out before it heated the student's skin. This time, the fire kept burning, blistering his hands before he finally put it out. He had to be treated for the severe burns, and the teacher resigned after.
Oh, okay. I thought she was just dumb.
Incident.
Okay.
If you collected all of the world's trash, could you launch it into space to get rid of?
Why? Just why?
Well, we produce over 6 million tons of trash.
Bro, and it would be impossible. You would have like, I don't know, I don't know how many rockets you gotta attach to that giant plate.
Which is enough to fill almost 5 stadiums. So, to launch it all, you would need over 90,000 rockets.
Jesus! I don't think NASA even got so many.
Each fully loaded with waste. Every launch would cost millions and burn hundreds of tons of fuel, pumping out over 100 tons of CO2 per flight. And even then, most rockets only reach low Earth orbit, meaning a lot of it would come crashing back down and pollute the atmosphere as it burned up. Now, even if we did launch it further out, the massive amount of trash would eventually form a giant belt around Earth. These would orbit our planet for thousands of years, blocking out the sun and polluting the skies. If you collect...
And why did you ask this question if it would end in either ways horribly?
He cut a hole in the wall of his new home and found a rag doll staring back at him.
Okay,
And next
creepy.
to it was a mysterious note. Thanks for freeing me. My name is Emily. I didn't like the people who lived here in 1961, so I stabbed them. It ended with, hope you have knives. Hope
Bro, I am killing that doll.
you sleep well. Friends warned him to sell the house immediately before he became the doll's
I'm sick,
next
by the way.
victim. His neighbors said the wall was renovated just a few years ago, not in 1961 like the note said.
Oh.
Meaning someone probably placed it there as a joke. Probably.
Bro, no, not probably.
He cut. If a medieval jousting lance hit your
Okay.
bulletproof vest, the Kevlar inside would bend against it. And this
Yes.
would easily allow the force of the heavy lance
Yes,
to
a
push
bit
straight
bloody,
through
but
your
yes.
body. But if you stripped it with medieval armor, it's made up of solid metal plates.
By the way,
built to handle
if
large
oh
impacts.
wait,
And if
no,
it
wait,
was hit
pause,
with a-
pause. Okay, by the way, if you see some cutouts, it's because I couldn't show these things, or because they were too gory, or because they were weird.
lance,
But yeah.
the plates would spread out the powerful
Just to let y'all know.
impact, stopping the pole from impaling you. If a medieval jousting lance hit
Oh wait, sorry.
when you spray a line of ants,
Go on.
some will survive, and since these ants have more than one queen, they can actually split into different groups.
Oh, okay.
Meaning you'll end up with multiple ant nests in your home, making the problem worse. Instead, set out bait. The ant picks it up thinking it's food, and when they bring it back to the nest, the poison is transferred from one ant to another until the
Okay,
entire colony is
interesting,
killed.
interesting.
When you spray, water rushed through the open doors, tipping the massive
Bro, this is my worst fear, together with me just flying on a plane and crashing it down.
fairy on its side.
Not me crashing it down, but that it crashed down.
Passengers fell through the ship, and some were sucked out to sea.
Oh,
Others
but
tried
he's
to get
alive.
to higher ground, but they were blocked by a corridor too wide to jump. Finally, a tall passenger lay down across the gap, offering himself as a human
What?
bridge. One by one, people stepped across his back, and over the next half hour, he saved 20 people. And even though hundreds died, many survived because of him.
Okay, this guy is a
Water rushed
hero,
through
probably Dutch. Yeah, I said probably Dutch because he stole, yeah.
Set
Okay.
the seed at the back of your tongue with the point facing
Okay.
out. Then curl your tongue into a tunnel and take a deep breath through your nose. Once in
Okay.
position, exhale sharply from your stomach,
Okay.
forcing the air out through your mouth. At the same time, lean forward and keep your jaw steady, aiming the seed as it shoots out. Set the seed at
These are way too many instructions. By the way, don't do this, you could seriously hurt somebody. Just saying it, cause or else YouTube will say, yeah, okay.
the back of.
Dit is de nieuwe
She collapsed on the train tracks, and the train was coming fast. But her
Okay.
dog didn't run. Instead,
No.
it bit her shirt and pulled. Foot by foot, the dog dragged her
Bro,
toward the
how
edge.
slow
Just
is
as
that
the
train?
was roaring past, she was out of the way. But the dog
No!
It was hit by a wheel, slicing through its leg. The train screeched to a halt, and the conductor found the woman unconscious but unharmed, with the bloody dog laying beside her. She was rushed to a vet and survived, but now lives with 3 legs.
Yeah. Good little boy or girl, I don't know. I have a dog of my own. His name is Marshall. Wait. Marshall! Oh yeah, I'm in the studio. He normally doesn't come in the studios, but in the studio. But yeah.
Once you strip away your muscle, bolt 3 big gears into your shoulder.
Hold on, which kind of Iron Man, Marvel, DC stuff is this?
One makes your arm swing forward and back, one lifts it out side to
Okay.
side, and the other spins it in a circle. At the elbow, run 2 steel cables like strings.
Okay.
The first pulls your forearm up, while the other pulls it back and down.
Sure.
Then add larger gears to make it bend smoothly. Inside your forearm, add a planetary gear set that twists it left and right. And at the wrist, place 2 little gears. One to move your hand up and down,
Okay.
and the other to tilt it side to side. Once you strip away your muscle,
Why?
bolt 3 big
I don't understand. This man wakes up and says, why shouldn't I just, why, this would be a great idea to just put millions of people's hair on the Statue of Liberty. This would be very interesting. I don't know, his thought process, man.
They pulled out the patient's brain and dropped it in a bucket, along with nearly 10,000 others,
Okay.
all done in secret without permission, creating the largest brain collection in the world. Decades later, a journalist started asking questions about her aunt. Her files showed almost nothing, just that she was taken at 14 and locked away in a mental institution. The trail went cold
Okay.
until the journalist learned about the hidden brains. Digging deeper, she uncovered a secret file, and under her aunt's name, just one note, 738. When she was finally led into the basement, they pointed to a single bucket, and inside was her aunt's brain. They pulled out the patient's brain.
Okay, did you sue them? I mean, if it was online, then it would be legal, I
If
think.
you shoot at this glass drop, it's actually strong enough to
It's a Prince Rupert drop.
shatter the bullet.
Right?
But if you just lightly tap
Yeah.
the tail, the whole thing will explode from the inside, sending glass flying.
Yeah, I
everywhere.
think it's the
You see,
Prince
it's made by dripping
Rupert.
molten glass into cold water. This instantly cools the outside into a
Yeah, but
hard
say the
shell,
name of the
while
thing.
inside contracts more slowly, locking a huge amount of stress into the head of the drop. And as soon as the tail snaps, all that stored energy is released at once, causing
Say-
the whole thing to
Say the name
explode
of the
into
drop.
dust. If you
Or out drop shatter. Bro, he didn't even say what the drop was named. By the way, the drop his name is Prince Rupert drop. It should have been called the Alice's drop. Why? I don't understand this. Jesus Christ, the true God. Whoa. Okay, I'm never going to open these comment sections ever again.
While in the car, her water broke.
Okay, yeah,
Held the-
see.
While in the car, her water broke. You see, a stranger was giving her a ride when she suddenly went into labor. He pulled into the gas station and ran for help while his friend stayed with the woman.
With this, I'm just going to put a black screen because this has too much imagery that YouTube is going to take down. Oh my god.
When he came back out with a worker, he called 911.
Yeah, I
Using
think
gloves
I
and
can't let
napkins from the gas
this see. I'm
station,
just
they
going to
followed instructions
let
on the
this
phone.
listen.
But when the baby came out, the cord was
No.
wrapped around
Oh,
his neck.
yeah, I
The
feel
worker
about this
unwrapped
because some babies move so much that the cord, that the umbilical cord is, by the way, the thing that makes your underbelly. I don't remember how you call it. But yeah, this it's basically a rope that feeds you from. It's like one of those alien films, or when a person goes in coma, they gotta feed them not from their mouth but from somewhere else. This is exactly it. It's very interesting, but some child get strangled by this and die. So pretty dark, pretty dark.
Survived thanks to 3 strangers at a gas station.
Well, at least he's alive. If you hear a plane, it's not because a plane is coming crashing down to my house. It's just because I live near an airport.
He held the man with tears in his eyes.
Okay.
The wounds were too bad. He was
Oh.
going to die. He heard a noise. He wasn't alone. Someone was
Oh,
trying
no.
to get in. He ran, bursting through the front door and sprinting into the woods. Footsteps pounded behind him.
Oh my
The man
God.
was chasing him. He ran harder, seeing a road ahead. A police car rolled by and his heart leapt with relief until the officer drew his gun. The other man finally emerged. A second cop? Confused, his eyes fell to his wrist. A plastic bracelet that read St. Mary's Psychiatric Hospital.
So it never happened. I mean, he killed him.
He held the man with
Oh
tears
my
in his
God,
eyes.
this stuff is so shocking. Also, this too bloody. I can't let this see. It's probably just going to be a black screen. Next one.
If your arms turned into wings, could you actually...
Why? No, just tell me. Zach D Films. Oh wait, camera. That's... Okay, Zach D Films. Just tell me why. Who gives you these? You know what? They just...
fly?
Bro,
well,
who
they
is-
would need to be at
Oh.
least 20 feet wide to carry you. And you
Wait.
would need chest muscles twice the size of a bodybuilder's just to lift them. To make these muscles more stable, you would need one giant bone in your chest. But you'd be too heavy to lift off by flapping, so instead you would have to jump off a cliff and glide. And since your lungs aren't designed for flight, you would pass out mid-air, meaning you would need an oxygen tank to stay conscious as you flew. If your arms turned into wings,
Okay.
the branch caught
Interesting.
on his ankle monitor.
This
trapping
also.
his legs into the
Interesting.
machine. And even though his co-workers were nearby, their ear protection blocked out his screams. He fought for his life until someone finally noticed and pulled him out. But his legs had already been cut off.
I
His coworkers tied
am
ropes around
not
his
going to let this see.
stumps to
Even
stop
though
the
he
bleeding.
bled a bit,
His
but
heart
still.
stopped on the way to the hospital, and he needed 15 pints of blood.
Oh
But
my
somehow he survived and still lives an active life without his legs.
Yay!
They painted giant eyes on the cow's butt and let it graze in the field. You see, cows are usually attacked by lions who surprise them to catch them.
Sorry. Wait, hold on. What do you even mean? Which kind? Oh yeah, probably lions like in the savannah.
Off guard, but the painted eyes make the cow's butts look like a staring face. This tricks the lions into thinking that they're spotted. And when scientists tested this out, all of the painted cows were safe, while the unpainted ones were repeatedly
No!
attacked. They painted giant eyes on the cow. He was way too short to join the army, but a tumor was developing in his brain.
Okay.
It triggered his hormones, and suddenly the 4'6" man started to grow.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
hands,
no.
feet, and tongue
No.
expanded, and he grew over 2
no.
feet in just a few years.
Oh,
And
okay,
as
in
he
a few
did,
years.
his spine curved. Soon his vision blurred, and eventually he had trouble hearing. Finally, doctors removed the tumor, which slowed his growth, but it didn't stop it completely. By the time he died, he was 7'8", making him the
Damn!
only man to live as both a dwarf and a giant. He was
Interesting,
way too
interesting.
short to join. When you shower, warm water loosens strands of your hair from your scalp. These hairs fall and a man rode into
Let's just
town
skip
on
that.
his donkey, with his son walking next to him.
Okay.
But people scoffed, saying the man was cruel for making the boy walk. So they switched. The boy rode and the man walked. Then others said the boy
I knew
was
it. I
disrespectful
knew it.
for making his father walk. So they both decided to ride on the
Now
donkey
that-
together.
now-
Now people said they were hurting the donkey, so they both got off and walked beside it. But even then, people laughed. What good is a donkey if no one's right?
Oh my god. Just ignore them.
It. And that's when they learned. Trying to please everyone really just pleases no one.
Oh.
A man rode into
no.
town on his...
Schoorstellen Bardiels.
They put long metal spikes in the center of the plate before placing hundreds of them on top of the ship. You see, this roof was designed to protect soldiers from boarding enemies, impaling them as they jumped onto the iron spikes. The holes cut into the sides let cannons fire in every direction, helping them attack enemies without getting hit. They also placed a dragon head in the front, which spewed out smoke from a hidden torch to confuse nearby enemies. But the ship cost too much to make, and they also entered a time of peace, meaning they eventually stopped making the turtle ship. They put long... She heard music coming from her own teeth.
What?
And she thought these songs were secret spy messages. But some of her teeth had been filled in, and fillings in teeth can...
No. Don't tell me the doctor, forgot some thingy in her tooth.
Actually sometimes act like tiny receivers. If conditions are right, radio signals can actually vibrate inside, causing your skull to also vibrate, which creates sound inside your head. Meaning she wasn't really hearing spies, just accidental radio broadcasts in her mouth.
Oh, but that would be very interesting, Wait, I gotta do this again. Yeah, I'm going to.
If you place an orange sideways and slice it with a sharp knife to create two even halves, you can use your thumb to push firmly on the peel from the outside. This will flip the orange half inside out, making the slices look like flower petals. And you'll be left with bite-sized chunks, which you can easily pluck off one by one without getting covered in juice. If you place an orange, the lion followed her on the movie set until suddenly it lunged at her. It clamped its jaws around her side and began shaking her violently. And when she looked back, the film crew was running, afraid that they would be next. Only the trainer stayed, shouting for the lion to drop her, and it finally let go. But then it pinned her down with its paw. She escaped with just a few scratches.
Just a few scratches?
Filming. The lion followed.
Man, if I was that kid, I would ask the production to give me at least another $1 million to remake this whole scene.
On the movie set. If you lay down on a bed of nails.
No.
His 20-pound. His 20-pound metal necklace started to pull away from his chest as he stepped into the room. He reached out to help his wife get up from the MRI table.
Why are you doing
was
that?
Still on, and it had one of the most powerful magnets on Earth.
Yeah, if you don't know what this machine is, it's an MRI machine. It's very, very magnetic.
It created a force 60,000 times stronger than Earth's magnetic field. Suddenly, his necklace shot forward, violently dragging him head first into the machine, and he died the next day from his injuries.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
Tiny sensors inside the handle pick up the small, shaky tremors in a person's hand. Then they send that information to a chip inside, which detects if the movement is a small, rapid tremor or a real intentional move. Then motors in the spoon's head shift in the opposite direction of the shake. So if your hand shakes left, the motor moves right to cancel it out. And this happens in a fraction of a second, keeping the food steady. Tiny he pooped directly wiped, and then disappeared into the night.
Okay, so if you think I'm going to just put a black screen here because the story is pretty interesting, but I'm not going to show it. Even though he blurred the butt out, there's still some things I don't think YouTube is going to let me put in.
The next morning, golfers discovered his work while playing. Now, he did this for 10 years, so the groundskeepers installed floodlights to try and catch him. But he climbed a tree, shimmied across a branch, and unplugged the lights, all without falling or getting electrocuted. And since he was never caught, he just kept using the holes as his toilet, leaving golfers in fear of finding his next poop.
Oh, no.
The blade spins so fast that the bird can't see them until it's too
No.
late. And hundreds of thousands of birds die from this every year. So researchers experimented by painting just one blade black. The single dark blade stands out as it begins to rapidly spin. And this breaks the blurred illusion, making all three spinning blades visible. Birds notice them early and change course, dropping fatalities by nearly 70%.
Oh, okay.
The blade spins so fast. Imagine there's a $10 million check with your name on it, sitting in the middle of the Amazon jungle.
Okay.
And it's all yours. You just have to go get it. Now,
Uh-huh.
you know you don't have the
Brazil.
money for a plane ticket.
Yes.
But that's not going to stop you. You sell all your possessions and beg for money from everyone you know. Once you land, you hitchhike through remote villages. And when the road runs out, you walk for miles, hungry and exhausted. You even have to sleep in the dirt. But none of that stops you, because you know the money is waiting for you. And that's the power of belief. When you truly believe in your goals, nothing can stop you. And the struggle doesn't scare you, because the reward is certain. Imagine there's a $10 million check.
Het zijn de hebben deals bij Kruidvat.
If you shoot at Kevlar, the fibers act like
What's
a
a
net as the
Kevlar?
bullet hits. Each thread is 5 times stronger than steel by weight, and they're stacked in dozens of layers. Instead of letting the bullet rip through, the layers catch it, spreading the force over a
Oh, it's
wide
a thing
area.
you put on
And this
the-
soaks up the bullet's energy before it can tear into your body. But high-powered rifle rounds and
But this, bro, what do you think? That most probably strong enough rifle thingies, sniper bullets, could tear through, I don't know, metal, I don't know, a tree, I don't know, 12 people.
sharp knives can
Yeah, also sharp knives, not very good because they stab it and you have the whole face that you could stab.
still break through the weave. That's why extra plates are added. It causes the bullet to shatter on impact, and the layers catch the pieces before they can reach your skin. If you
Okay,
shoot, he
interesting.
laid down in the park right under a 16-pound pine tree.
What? A 16-pound
Suddenly,
pineapple.
it fell and landed right on his head. It crushed his skull, and surgeons had to remove part of the
Oh.
bone. You see, this was a type of Australian pine.
You know what? I'm not even
The
going to
cones
say
can
it.
grow up to 40 pounds. It was planted in a public park as an exotic species, but the man argued there should have been warning signs and sued the government for $5 million. He won the case, and the park put
Yeah.
up signs and barricades, as well as netting under the branches, meaning no one else would fall victim to the giant cones.
Nice.
Pak uit met...
As the sun sits in space, it warps space-time almost like a net, and this causes the Earth to roll around the dip. But since it's moving sideways, it keeps looping around in orbit instead of falling in. Now, if the sun suddenly vanished, it would no longer be creating that dent that pulls the planet towards it. But because the sun is 93 million miles away from Earth, for 8 minutes, we would still be riding the dent until the change finally hits us and we would slip free into the abyss. As the sun
Well,
sits
we
in
would-
space, it
Yeah, space is a pretty interesting concept.
They uncovered a massive foot as they dug the well.
Okay.
And as they kept digging, they discovered the 10-foot tall fossil of a man. People believed it was proof that giants existed and paid
They
good money
didn't
just to see it.
exist.
But they soon grew suspicious of the man who was selling the tickets. You see, he had previously argued that giants never existed, and to prove how easily it was to fool people,
Okay,
a hidden
sure.
needle silently pops out from the tip. This needle is coated with a poison so powerful that just one tiny prick can paralyze every muscle in your body.
Okay.
Within minutes, you can't breathe, quickly suffocating without making a sound. North Korea secretly developed this deadly weapon in the 1990s, specifically designed to silently eliminate high-profile targets. Twist the top of the pen 3 times.
Interesting,
Then,
interesting.
If a submarine starts to fail, the sailor would connect a tube from their suit to the ship, and the ship would inflate the suit with pressurized air while the escape hatch floods until it matches the outside pressure. When the doors open, the sailor would shoot upwards at fast but controlled speeds, and the pressurized air would keep their lungs from bursting, as the inner lining protects them from the cold temperature. When they reached the surface, they would quickly inflate a life raft attached to the suit, and the bright color would help rescuers spot them. If a submarine starts to fail, the sailor would connect a tube from their
Yeah,
suit
we're
to the
going
ship,
to
and the
watch
ship would
the
inflate
last
the
two
suit with pressurized
videos,
air,
and
while the
then we are
escape
going
hatch
to
floods until it matches the outside pressure.
end the
When the
video.
doors open, the sailor would shoot upwards at fast
where
but
is it?
controlled.
Sluit het ja.
They lick it after finding it buried in the dirt. If it's just a rock, the tongue will slide right off, and the surface stays smooth. But if it's a fossil, tiny pores in the bone will suck up the moisture in your mouth. And when those holes touch your tongue, they suck in your spit, causing it to grip the surface. This is a quick way to tell if you're dealing with fossilized bone or just another rock. They licked. A masked man stormed in and pointed a gun right at the woman's face. Her fiancé threw himself across the room, grabbed the
Cool
barrel,
shot.
and wrestled the intruder to the ground.
Whoa.
The fight spilled down the stairs.
Okay.
The man held on, even as the attacker dragged him outside. The stairs were icy, and the attacker slipped, allowing the man to pull the gun from his hands. The criminal ran. But just minutes later, he returned, hoping to get his gun back.
Yours.
This time, the man was armed and waiting for him, so the robber was soon arrested.
Good,
A masked
good.
man
So yeah, that was Zack D Films. Zack D Films. Go check him out. It's a very, I don't know, he has questionable content. Some that I need to blur. Some that I don't need to blur. But yeah, this was... oh wait, I just got it. Okay. So yeah, this was the reaction. My first reaction to something... oh my god. To something on the channel. I'm a little bit sick. But yeah, this was Zack D Films. And... see you on in another video and on the other side. Bye bye.